yesterday's song drifts on the wind. Its melody is haunting me, and there's no end that I can see. It keeps on running through my mind. In the dark of night, it comes to me. The melody of yesterday's song is drifting on in. I can hear its melody calling once again to me. It follows me wherever I have been. In the dark of night, it comes to me. The melody of yesterday.
Hi everyone, this is Scott Catton of Monkeemania Radio, and we're here with our very special guest, the legendary Bill Chadwick. Hi there, Bill. How are you doing today?
Just as good as I can be.
Excellent, fabulous, glad to hear. And while we're here today, friends, Bill's got a brand new, as of this recording, a brand new CD of some long-lost music that he came across. And what years do the songs cover?
Well, basically from around 1966 to about 72.
Oh, great. All good years, in my opinion. And when did you recently discover some of these songs?
Well, I've had them around for a long time. I knew they were there, but they were just stored away, and I had the original acetates from the recordings
Oh, excellent.
and a
Good.
few tapes, and a few things that I'd transferred to this or to that. And my friend Michael Palmerico, a former director of All My Children, introduced me to his son, who is a engineer at Warner Electra, and he said that he would clean them up and take all the little pops and crackles
Great.
and things out of it, and that was all it needed to do to put it together. It's a bunch of songs primarily that my brother John and I wrote, or that I wrote, and it's all things that I produced and sang the lead vocals on. And it went everything from fully orchestrated songs with maybe 14 musicians, including strings and woodwinds and just about everything you could imagine, to the simplest things that were. The last song on the album is something that was just made up as we went along. A friend of mine from high school and I, where I was working as an engineer in a studio in Burbank. And I got a lot of free time, so whenever my friends were around, I'd say, "Hey, come on, let's make some music."
Oh, great. And what kind of are there any known musicians that worked on any of the songs, on those particular songs?
Not really. They were just all very exceptionally talented people. Well, there were. No, I can't think of anybody individually except for a fellow named Judson Huss, who had played in a lot of different bands. I've known him since high school. We were very, very close friends. He passed away a number of years. A very, very fine artist who moved to Paris and became a very famous painter of fantastic surrealism. He and I did the last 3 songs together. And like I say, a great friend, a lifelong friend.
Oh, great. Now, so the last time you wrote songs was about in the early 70s, around 1972 or so?
No, I'm still writing songs.
Oh, excellent. Maybe you might see another compilation or collection come out one day on those as well. So that's good to hear about that. And do you have any particular favorites in the new collection?
Well, they're some of my favorite songs that I've written, and that's the reason I kept those. There's more, but I think these were the best.
Oh, great. And also, I guess, on the new collection, you've also got a early version of the Monkees' Time and Time Again song in there as well.
Yes, and that's with a full orchestra.
Oh, great.
It's got a whole different feeling. I mean, I'd like to have done it that way with Davy, except I couldn't get the budget.
Oh, okay. That can always be a problem on occasion sometimes.
It always is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Time and time again, naughty girls get me in trouble. When I fly too high. Something's bound to burst the bubble.
And when did you, in your mind, when did you decide to put this collection together?
Just I was playing at some of the songs for different people, and they said, "Gee, that's great. You should put those out. You should put those out. You should put those out." And I finally said, "Okay,
Good, good, excellent.
do it."
Yep, excellent. Sounds good. I know that a lot of the Monkees fans and just 60s music fans in general are all very excited, including me, of course, about this brand new collection of songs you have there as well.
Well, I don't think anybody's more excited about it than I am because
Mm.
it's there's something has been floating around in my mind since the '60s. I
Right,
just finally got up enough gumption to say, "Okay, I'm going to do it," and kind of the old run it up the flagpole and see who salutes it.
right, exactly. And it's reference to Mike Nesmith's Loose Salute album right there. And it's what would you say? Is there an average time length for writing any songs at all, or
I mean, how long it takes me to write a song?
yeah, would you say
Well, I've had them just roll out of my brain, just like you and I wrote
right?
it
Another Monkey song, yeah.
2 minutes.
Oh wow, that's it.
Yeah, and uh, that's quite a few of the songs that I've written have come out. They just flow out of me, and others it takes me weeks to write them
Wow, that's great.
because you want to get the feeling right.
Right.
Like Time and Time Again was a song that just it took a long time to get it just right.
So that must have been obviously certainly great when the Monkees came out with their own versions of them when they were released on that too. So
Well, usually those I was the stuff, all of my stuff I produced.
oh, good, excellent, excellent.
Well, except Zoran Zam. I didn't produce Zoran Zam.
Okay. And that one you also what co-wrote with your brother as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, and I played guitar on that.
Now, the characters of Zor and Zam, would you say you were Zor and your brother was Zam, for instance?
Well, that was not what happened. There was no any.
Fictionary
Well,
characters?
the story of Zoran Zam was Zoran Zam was a piece of a whole world. Uh, the Land of Never Do, it was called. And my brother and I had initially been trying to put together a uh, TV series of about a group that of young musicians that were sailing around in a little sailboat one day, and sitting around and playing their musical instruments, and a storm came up, and they started circling and circling, and a whirlpool arrived, and it sucked them down into the bottom of the ocean, into another world.
Oh, wow.
And that was the Land of Never Do. And Zor and Zam were two kings that were at war, and there were witches, and there were all kinds of fanciful things. And it was supposed to be like a mix of cartoon drawings and real people at the same time.
Oh, wow.
That because my brother had been a animator at Disney back in as far back as Bambi
Oh, wow.
and Fantasia. He worked on those.
I was gonna say that would the concept would sound like it'd be make like a great either animated movie or a cartoon, based on the
Well, it's a
characters.
combination
So,
thereof. You're right.
oh, wow. That's great. And, dude, it's kind of like with the Harry Nilsson's The Point.
Right.
When his
Yeah, exactly. He came out with the same kind of concepts
right that and Schlater, of course,
about 5 years after.
after that with both of course both Davy Jones and Mickey Dolenz both appeared in the stage play of Harry Nilsson's The Point in London, England. Did you coin the phrase and they gave a war and nobody came?
I don't know. I think we did, but I think somebody else said they did too. So
Wow.
that might have been them. It might have been us. But it doesn't really make any difference. The what the most moving thing about that song to me was when we went to Australia to do a tour there,
Okay.
and we were having a get together prior to moving from one city to another. And some press people came into the room. And we're in this kind of, we had a room set up where, we invite people in for this or for that. And we're standing in the room talking with a bunch of people, and I happen to step out onto the balcony, and I hear some people singing from down below. And I look down, and it's a bunch of military people, Army and Navy and Air Force, and they were staying in a hotel across the street. It was where they were all coming in for R&R, which is getting a break to maybe go back home for a week or so.
Rest and relaxation. Yep.
You got it.
And that also, the phrase, they gave a war and nobody came, that would make a great T-shirt slogan design, and especially from the 60s, with all the political unrest and the Vietnam War going on and everything too. So,
Exactly. Well, all these guys had to come in from, or men and women had come in from Vietnam, and these guys were, and men and women were down there singing Zoran Zam.
wow,
And
great.
it started out with about 4 or 5 people, and within 15 minutes, they're still singing the song, and there's maybe 400 or 500 people out there singing. And I'm standing there in tears, and this Mickey comes out, and I, ran back in and got him, drug him out, and then the rest of the guys came out. We're all out there singing it back to them.
Wow.
So, and we all got tears running down our eyes. It was just really one of the most emotional moments of my life.
Wow, and of course they used those featured prominently in the last episode, the Fraud Escaper, also known as Mijikojo, and that with their battling the nefarious evil wizard Glick,
Yeah.
and also that was played by the popular character actor Rip Taylor.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember that. I've really enjoyed working with the Monkees all the way through. On the set stuff was some of the best. I got to meet some wonderful people, and it was and participate in it. It was great.
Oh, great! Did you have any? What are your thoughts? Did you ever get to beat Rip Taylor himself at all?
I met just about everybody that was ever on the set. I was there nearly every day shooting photographs.
Oh, wow. I wonder, after all these years, if there's, I know when they film a lot of extra material and stuff like that, if any time any of that stuff would ever surface at all. Like with DVDs, they had the extra DVD bonus content,
Right.
stuff to sell the film or
Yeah.
DVDs and that.
Be interesting.
There would be, and all different stuff, because I asked Mickey at a recent talk, I said, do you have any recollections of the 1969 tour with him, Davey, and Mike?
Yeah.
And he said he didn't. Of course, it's a whirlwind blur. He doesn't really remember too many of the shows itself, but he remembers meeting certain people at that time. And they were at that tour. That's the one with minus Peter Tork, the first one without him, when they toured with the backup band, the soul band, Sam and the Good Timers.
Right.
On that too.
Yeah, well, during that particular period, I was involved in my own business, and I was not really involved in it.
Okay.
Much, yeah. I was doing some work still with Donovan.
Donovan, right?
Yeah, during that time, I was doing some vocals for him on his Barabba Jaggle album.
Right, exactly. Well, that sounds good. And also, just a few thoughts on the tour you did with Australia, 1968 as well.
Oh,
Yeah, the lighting designer and that and everything.
yes, I loved Australia and Japan. That was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I will never forget either one.
It's too bad there hasn't really been too much audio or video surfaced from either of those, historic concerts. And that
Yeah, very little, very, very little. I have a few photographs floating around someplace
good.
of Australia, and it's just a few of Japan.
I know occasionally you get to see some random photos that occasionally pop up on Facebook or online on the internet and stuff like that too, that are interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like you said, because there's not a lot of photos of that time period or those shows out there.
Yeah, I have a
I
few
do,
unseen
and that
photographs.
too, so that's good too as well. So, of course, that's when on that tour, of course, that with Peter Tork, I think it was probably his last tour with the Monkees, and that's the one where he he had actually his hippie-ish beard mustache on that stuff too.
Oh,
So,
yes, yes.
right?
Yes.
So that separated him from the rest of the guys and everything like that as well. Now, do you recall anything when the Monkees made after the series had ended, when they like made guest appearances on like shows like Laugh-In and the Johnny Cash and Glenn Campbell and shows like that?
I wasn't at any of those except the one that I directed and musical directing and total directing, I guess you call it. A TV show that he did that was only on once, and it was I can't even remember the name of the show. It was An Evening With, I think it was
Oh,
called.
really? Okay.
And uh, I directed it, but the only credit I got was musical director because I wasn't in the other union.
Oh, wait, okay.
Yeah, but I wrote those all songs that I wrote, and was really great.
And do you remember what year that was from?
That was in 1970, not late 1969 or
Oh,
1970.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and we went in and recorded about half the songs that were used in there in a little studio in Burbank.
Okay, wow, that's good. Oh, sounds great. Good. And what about some of the other newer songs that you recorded on the new CD?
Well, it's some of those were recorded while I was the last 3 songs on it were recorded in a studio in Burbank that was A&D Recording.
Okay.
A friend of mine, Angela DiFrenzio, who had run a club in ran a club in West Los Angeles that was just called the New Balladeer. And everybody in there that you can imagine played in there. David Crosby, uh, and a lot of us started out in there as nobodies and kind of dug our way up to the Troubadour, and then
Oh, wow.
on through or some other clubs around, like the Insomniac, which was a club down in Hermosa Beach, which was a place where everybody, fought to get into. I was a house musician there for almost a year.
Oh, wow. And you know that recently, once again, as of this recording, both Mickey and Coco recently released their new shows live from the Troubadour as well,
Right.
too. So that'd be very exciting now that they're out there as well. So,
The Troubadour is where I met Mike for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What is it, around 1963 or something? Like that, or
It was 1965. I
March 5?
think.
Okay.
He had just arrived in Los Angeles. He'd been there for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Came in straight from Texas?
Yeah,
Oh,
from San Antonio. And he was sitting there singing and playing his guitar. And I heard his voice, and I thought, gee, that, sounds like a lot of the people I used to sing with when I was a kid, hanging out with my family in Fort Worth. And I went over, was listening to him, and he started singing a song that I knew, and I just popped in with a harmony, and he looked up, and our voices blended so well that the next week we were on stage together.
oh, wow.
And I
That's great.
hired him to work for a group that I was putting together for Randy Sparks.
Now, that was, so shortly after that was like Mike, John, and Bill?
Well, no, Mike, John, and Bill was before that. That was another Bill. I can't think of his name. I never met him. He was out of the picture before I knew Mike. But we went down to San Antonio to do a show. I had hired Mike for a group called the New Society,
Okay.
and a lot of people were in that.
Do any of their recordings exist?
Oh yeah,
Other side?
oh yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a few, but if you look at the little sheets that cover sheets that on the records, that doesn't show hardly any of the people that were actually in the group.
Oh, wow.
Randy Sparks had the thing, but we need to take a photo today. So I went, hey, the cook, come here, we need you, and the guy that's cleaning up the bathroom, grab him and throw some clothes on him, and See that? Hey, that waitress, put her in there too.
Huh.
So they'd have a line of about 10 people, all lined up, let's say, in the woods someplace, and they take a picture. Well, just it was crazy. So everything was kind of like off the cuff.
And Bill Chadwick, Yesterday's Songs is once again the name of Bill's new CD.
You know, all the songs on this album are written with thought of the time and the feeling of what was going on in the world and how we could maybe make it better. There's love songs.
All the people that I see have no time to notice me. I'm a stranger who you see, and I'm looking for that girl.
There's pain songs. There's
I let my thoughts wander round past the time that I am in, and then I stop and I think of all the places I have been, and it's then
songs of the soul.
reflections in a pool, looking back at you. Reflections in my mind. Why were you so unkind? Reflections there of you. Oh, now what can I do?
I was a very lucky guy to be given the opportunity from different production companies and music environs to be able to go in and be as creative as I could with budgets that I never imagined I'd have the opportunity to take advantage of. And I'm very proud of every single song. Whether you like them, whether you think they're good or bad, I want you to hear them. And so you can tell me whether you think they're good or bad.
Oh, great. Now, what's the best way for the fans out there to obtain copies of the new CD?
Well, they'll be available through an email address of blindcamille@aol.com.
blindcamille@aol.com, okay?
And with that,
That sounds good.
the instructions on how to acquire the records.
Oh, great. Now, how many songs are in the new release?
Or for 12 or 14. I can't even remember. It was just a lot of work. That's what I remember the most. It was a lot of work to get it all back together.
Well, I'm sure me and all the fans out there look forward to hearing all the new songs. And we have been playing some of the new songs already on Monkeemania Radio, and that who have been promoting the new release and everything too. So friends, make sure to go out there and secure your copy. It makes a great holiday gift or any gift any time of the year.
Yeah, and come to me on my Facebook page and tell me which songs you liked and which one you didn't.
Good idea. Great. All right then, Bill, thanks again for your time, and good luck with the new CD.
Well, thank you for your time. So
Well,
it's always good to talk with you.
Thank you. And once again, this has been Scott Catton from Monkeemania Radio, and peace out, everybody.
Yesterday's song drifts on the wind. Its melody is haunting me, and there's no end that I can see. It keeps on running through my mind. In the dark of night, it comes to me. The melody of yesterday's song is drifting on in. I can hear its melody calling once again to me. It follows me wherever I have been. In the dark of night, it comes to me. The melody of yesterday's song